All right, welcome back into the Bettor Hour. As opposed to me over there on my set firing on some trends, we're all trending in this segment. My co-hosts Katie, Jeff, and Eric are going to be talking their favorite NBA Finals trends. We're going to kick it off with Katie. Katie, what do you have for me so I could give you my critique?
All right, let's start with a team trend. In the last 9 NBA Finals, the team with the better seed has the edge. They have a 6-2 edge when it comes to the series, and they also have a 28-17 edge when it comes to games during that span. Now, the Celtics are the number 2 seed in the East, and the Warriors, who I think we're all on, are the number 3 seed. Next up, my NBA trend for a player. Let's look at Steph Curry here. He's averaged 26.5 points per game in his NBA Finals career. In fact, he's been held to under 20 points just 7 times in the NBA Finals. But in game 1s of the series in the NBA playoffs this year, he's averaging only 20 points per game. He is set to 27.5 points per game. That's his over-under. I would probably wait until he dips below 25 to take him over a prop bet. What do you think?
I love those. I do think, Katie, you and I are both on the Warriors, so that team trend, I like it, but I can't buy into it because we're on the Warriors. Also, we know the Warriors have won every single game 1 leading up to these finals. The Celtics only won that game 1 against the Nets. So they've been kind of trending upwards, trying to catch that 1-0 deficit. So I think in this particular series, you got to be fundamentally sound against these Warriors. I think the Dubs come out, win game 1. I do like the Curry trend. That's a good note for bettors out there because we know he's averaging a league team high 26.9, which I'm actually going to talk about points per game a little later. But if he's off to a slow start, you might want to kind of sit back and wait on any Steph Curry player points. I imagine, Katie, you're not buying in on this team trend, right?
I am not buying in on this team trend. And it's like you said, it's good for bettors to know. Trends are trends, but you got to think about where they come from. The Warriors, they were the number 3 seed, but they had a lot of injuries throughout the season. Had they all been healthy like they are now, they could have been a higher seed.
All right, let's keep it rolling. On to EC. Eric, what do you got for me?
All right, my first trend is about the Celtics on the road in the playoffs. They are 7-2 straight up on the road and 7-1-1 against the spread. Now they have the Celtics have covered the spread in each of their last 7 games, and they are just playing nasty basketball right now. Someone's trend is going to have to end because the Warriors have won all 11 playoff games at home, and the Celtics are playing well also. Now, my next trend, Robert Williams III, a.k.a. the Time Lord. He's recorded 2 or more blocks in 8 of his last 9 games. Now, he averaged 1.9 block per game during the playoffs, and he averaged 3 blocks a game last year in the playoffs. So this guy is a game changer. He protects the paint, does a great job of holding it down, anchoring that defense. And before his injury late in the season, he was one of the top contenders for Defensive Player of the Year, who we all know Marcus Smart, his teammate, won. So the trend is Robert Williams, 2 or more blocks. Is he going to be able to stay on the court with that small lineup from the Warriors? What do you think, Alex?
I like these two. I mean, the Celtics, we know from an against the spread standpoint, they're the best cover in these NBA playoffs, and they've been doing it on the defensive end in large part. But kind of go back a little bit to what I was saying in the game 1s here. They're not off to always a great start, and they got to go against a Warriors team, as you alluded to, that's undefeated at home. I love the Robert Williams block, though. I mean, his paint is a tough one to come into and dominate. I think that's a great player prop to take a look at. But, Eric, from an athlete perspective, when you're coming into someone's house and you know they've never lost and none of your players have ever been in the NBA Finals, from a mental standpoint, you think the Celtics are at a disadvantage here in Game 1?
I think so, especially when you get into game 1 with the energy that's going to be in Chase Arena. I remember as a player playing against those Patriots that won so many championships. You walk in, you're warming up, you have all this fire, and then all of a sudden reality comes down and they start imposing their will. So I think the Celtics, once they get into the game, they'll start to realize that they can play with this Warriors team. But overall, I think the Warriors are going to be too much to handle.
I love it. All right, Jeff, what do you got for me?
All right, let's finish it off strong. And EC, our trends are kind of in harmony. First off, let's talk about this defense of the Celtics. There's been much vaunted defense. And, some Warriors fans are feeling like, well, what about us? We have great defense, too. Well, look, the Celtics, they're averaging allowing 101 points per game on the defense. Warriors are 8th, allowing 109. They had the second best defensive rating. Warriors were 6th, but it was almost 5 points worse. And the Celtics are making their money defending the three-point line. Regular season, they led the league in opponent three-point field goal percentage, giving up the lowest. And we all know that's where Golden State makes their money too, is on the three-point line. So this is kind of irresistible force, immovable object with these two on in this defensive matchup. And as for my player trend, let's go to number 1 Kobe system disciple, Jason Tatum. A man who this playoffs is averaging 28.7 points, 7.3 boards, 5.4 dimes, shooting over 37% from 3. He's up this from his career playoff average, almost 6 more points for his career, half a rebound, almost 2 more assists, 2 percentage points better from 3. This is a guy that I'm looking at throughout this entire series, hammering overs, definitely on points, probably on rebounds too, and assists. He led his team in assists through the series with the Heat. So this is a guy that's going to have to do it all if the Celtics even have one iota of a chance at winning this series. So check out all those player props. Those are the ones I have my eye on. Alex, what you think?
I like these a lot, Jeff. I mean, I think the Boston team trend, as far as what they're doing defensively, I think that bodes well for the under. And we know this is the best team in the regular season in opponents' points per game. And then particularly this Warriors team is the second in that same category. 4 teams left here aside from the Heat. So I think the under, based off what you're saying to me, could be the play in game 1, especially with those game 1 jitters. And then Tatum, I'm all about it. I think he's been unbelievable. And any props, particularly that assist prop that you alluded to, is absolutely butter. So I like everything you're talking about with JT. And then my personal trends, I mean, I just got to shout out right now that the Warriors are undefeated at home in the playoffs. They're also covering 7 of those 9 games in the against the spread category, which is absolutely incredible. And they're averaging around 118.7 points per game in that run at home. So as much as Jeff's trend is saying what the Celtics have done defensively, they're going to have to dance and really slow down a team that doesn't stop scoring, and we all know doesn't stop moving. And then I got a little player trend here with Curry. For me, I feel like 26.9 points per game in the playoffs is incredibly impressive considering he came off a little bit of a pitch count. Remember, he was off the bench in game 1, the first series against the Nuggets, put 16 up, and then since then, he's had 4 30-point games against the Grizzlies and onward. So, I mean, aside from Katie's great trend of game 1s, you want to maybe hammer the over on player props for Curry. And that about does it for We're All Trending. Don't go anywhere. Coming up next, we are talking about what we're watching on the Bettor Hour.